All right, Miss Sherri. So not drying herbs, but preserving
That is
herbs.
correct, yes.
That's correct, okay.
Yes.
So what do we need to know about preserving those herbs?
Well, you started out with drying.
Okay.
Most people do think this is the time of the year to harvest and dry. But that's slightly incorrect because we should actually be harvesting and doing all of this year-round. Not year-round, from spring.
Okay.
For example, you can get 2 to maybe 5 pounds of basil from one plant.
One plant.
If you collect it properly.
Okay.
So you're supposed to keep pinching in it and it gets bushy. So I've brought an example of some basil that I did last year. And as you can see, it's nice and dry.
Yeah,
and when you want it to sound like potato chips when it crumbles. And this is nice. Now, the stalks, I'm not too sure. I cheated and this has been out, so I should have, as soon as it got nice and crisp, put it up. Or if there was any doubt, remove the leaves and left the stems.
Okay.
But one of the things that I want to talk about is, thank you.
Yes.
And this is one method to dry for something that you know is going to crumble, and you use screens.
Okay.
And I cheated and used a smaller screen, if Booker will tilt it for the camera, and you can see the little black dots are the seeds, so I can collect seeds. But if you don't know anybody that can make you some seeds, screens, then you can just use a paper sack, and hang it inside. Oh, and this also shows, I bundle using rubber bands. As plant material dries, it shrinks.
Okay.
We all know that. If you just use a string, sometimes you go find out that you just have everything's on the floor. But I wanted to talk to you about pastes.
Okay.
We dry, it's easy, but we're all from the South. We've all had dried black-eyed peas, right? And we've had fresh black-eyed peas.
Yes, we have.
And you know there's a major difference in the flavor, right?
Right.
So same thing for dried herbs.
Okay.
So you can also make pastes, and that preserves the flavor. It tastes fresh. You could do just enough oil to cover the plant material, put it in a food processor, put it in a bag. Now you also want to be sure to label what you put in the bag and what quantities. When you've put it in the freezer, lay it flat and let it freeze. And then you have little planks and you can put it anywhere, because let me tell you from experience, if you put it over something and it droops around it and freezes, you may have to thaw both items at the same time. But when it comes time to use it, you can pull it out. You've got a little plank. You either break off a corner, whack it on the table, or use the whole bit. If you like pesto, what you would do is use the oil and the amount of material required, which is usually about 2 cups of plant to 2/3 of oil, and put the whole thing in here. So when you have company come over in the winter, you pop this out and you have fresh pesto, and they don't know any difference.
That's right. I like pesto too, so that's good.
And so we're talking the paste. There's a whole lot of methods. You can do syrups, you can do vinegars, salts, sugars. So let's go. Would y'all like to taste? Let's go to taste something next. Yes.
We can do that. Sure we can.
Here's 3 different vinegars I've used, and it's just as simple as you put the plant material in the container, pour the vinegar over. What vinegar do you need to use? Well, what do you like? This one's apple cider vinegar, and you can see it's a little cloudy. That may be off-putting to some people, but that's nothing other than this still has the mother in it. The mother is what makes vinegar, so it kind of will roll around in the bottom, and maybe it's not attractive, but it's fine. It won't hurt you. This one's made with white wine vinegar, and this one's made with red wine. See how nice and clear this is? So the white wine. This is a Bloody Mary mix. I've got a book that has different recipes in it. So, and this one's got cardamom and mint and rosemary and garlic. So I know y'all are just wanting to try it. So
I'll try that apple cider.
You want the apple cider, this one, the Bloody Mary?
Okay, we'll do that.
It does not really have no alcohol in it. And what would you like to try?
I'll just get a piece of bread here.
Bloody Mary for here.
Yeah, let me try that there.
And so it is vinegar, so bear that in mind.
But it tastes good though.
Put it in here.
That's good.
And you don't have to have recipes. You can just go with it. It's a very forgiving method. It makes great Christmas gifts, and we're starting to talk about this time of year. Yes.
Okay.
So we also said salts. So here's some examples of salts I've made. The pink one is a rosy basil that's kind of a red basil because you could use the red ruffles and stuff. The one across the table from me is made with Himalayan pink salt. And I used a little bit of Tagetes lucida, which is the Texas tarragon, and I used a little bit of just columnar basil. What's in the cup is some that I did not put in the food processor, so you can see how pretty it is. It didn't keep the nice pink that I was hoping for, but it was a nice thought. So it's pretty much equal parts salt to plant material, and this you do when it's fresh, so it's wet. So you put it in the toaster oven or oven on low heat till it dries and gets nice, and then you put it in like a coffee grinder is a great item to use to grind up spices.
Coffee grinder.
So,
I would have thought about that.
Yeah, because they're small.
Well, okay.
Dedicate one to your herbs though if you're going to do that.
All right.
Otherwise, it's
Not
going to
with
have
the coffee,
coffee flavor.
right.
Right. So if y'all want to try that,
We can try that. Let me hand
we
it to
can
you.
pass it around.
Okay.
So.
I know
Get
Booker,
you
I know
some
Booker
tomatoes.
likes
He's going
fried
to.
green tomatoes.
Yeah.
Let's see if he likes the
And
red tomatoes. Huh?
These are,
Just put in here?
You can, or you can sprinkle it on it with your fingers, either way.
Just put in here?
That's a lot of salt. You want another piece to go
Yeah,
with it?
a lot of salt, yeah.
Of course, I
messing-
like salt, so, and you can, however you would like to do it.
Yeah. Do this here.
I eat a lot of salt.
Did you get too
So,
much?
but you know, so it's the basil flavor. And if you wanted to be really, really fancy,
But it tastes good though. It tastes good.
you can taste
like that
so the
salt.
licoricey flavor is the Tagetes lucida, the Texas tarragon, which grows really well here.
It tastes good.
Tastes good. Don't it?
Yeah.
like that song.
And I don't know if you noticed, but I said,
Yeah.
did I say wines? If I didn't,
Why?
here's my, and I understand we're not supposed to drink it, but nonetheless, I found a pretty bottled wine, a nice little white wine. You could do red wine, whatever wine you like, and you just open it, uncork it, and then you put whatever herbs in you think you would like. This is Texas tarragon and basil. I wanted you to taste those two flavors, but it's very pretty, and trust me, it's tasty.
We'll take your word for it. How about that?
Yes.
Sherri, thanks for that good information and for this demonstration.
That was good.
That was actually
Yeah,
good.
It tasted good too. I like that. The salt is real good.